so smart what they've done when they originally traded Paul George and supporting cast to do all of this. It was like, wow, and they're still getting picks. This is a bigger sample size than what the Celtics did however many years ago when they got rid of Pierce and Garnett.
Yeah.
They got Tatum and Brown out of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And Tatum and Brown out of it. You know what I'm saying? So it's very much the same type of thing, but they're a villain now. And I can respect it because they've done it the right way. They've just through the draft and all this, but we'll see how much they're able to sustain it because pretty soon these players are going to become free agents. They're going to want big max deals and because Chet's still on a rookie contract. Is SGA still on a rookie contract?
I believe they extended him.
Yeah, I think they both got maxes and Jalen.
And Jalen, yeah.
But even still, like they're gonna be up for free agency soon with their supporting cast, and we're gonna see if they're gonna want to pay him because that's really the truth. Of this dynasty, quote unquote, will become a dynasty if it upholds, but we'll see.
Also, another team I would like to talk about that's been surging that we talked very highly-ish about, at least off camera, was the Atlanta Hawks. They're cooking right now. They just gave nice little semi-whooping to the Celtics last night. Their offense could be a big problem, but again, I don't see them sustaining this in the playoffs. I mean,
very, very good team. Jalen Johnson, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which, I mean, I didn't think he was to be this incredible signing from the Timberwolves, if I'm not mistaken. He made that Western Conference final run with the Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards and Jalen McDaniels. But, I mean, their team is good. They traded for CJ McCollum. They got rid of Kristaps Porzingis, who was just injury-prone. Dyson Daniels is still an elite player, even though, like, offensively-wise, he is a bit inefficient at times. Onyeka Okongwu was good. Zachary Ricochet, he could just hide on the bench. They traded for Kuminga and Buddy Hield, Corey Kispert as well. Like, they have a very, very nice team and roster. Looking at the potential playoff picture, if it were to
face the Cavs.
Yeah, they would face
the
Cavs.
I think they could beat the Cavs.
Yeah, I don't think they'll beat the Cavs, honestly, in my opinion. If they were to rise up and beat the Cavs, and then once you get beat the Cavs, you're going to play the winner, the 1 and 8 seed, which is pretty much a guarantee they're going to lose to the Pistons. I don't think they're going to get through that, but
one of the best offenses in the league, sitting at 6th, averaging 118 points. That's just behind the Thunder. And they don't have the name talent, obviously, that the Thunder have. But to be able to be that efficient on offense, that could be a problem. It just depends on how the defense is. And I think the Hawks potentially could exploit the Cavs' defense because they're not known for their defense besides Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. I think they could really demolish that backcourt, at least when it comes to defense. Like, Harden can't guard anything, and neither can Mitchell. Mitchell's solid defensively, but he's not like a player that I'm scared to go one-on-one against. Like, every time I see Donovan Mitchell guarding me, I'm probably going to be okay with going one-on-one and going a little bit of an ISO ball.
He's an okay defender, but he's pretty small. He's like a big, wide, like shorter D Wade. That's his basically archetype, size-wise, let's say.
And also, speaking about a little bit of playoff matchups as well, it's shocking that we have about 7 games left this year, and the teams that are in the playoffs are already locked in, the playoffs and play-in at least, which is shocking. I mean, I think that just shows how bad the bottom teams in both the East and West are, because we would have had a team that probably would have been still on the hunt within 2 games left, and now there's just no playoff hunt. I think that just shows what the NBA was this year. It's been a really weird year for the NBA. I haven't been tuned in as much as I have recently. Like, I watch some games that are like good marquee matchups, but I'm not tuning into certain games that are on television because they're not good. When you look at the recent games that took place over the weekend, there was no games I was like, yes, I want to watch this. I mean, college basketball was on, yes, don't get me wrong. So I was tuned into college basketball over NBA, but there was no good games. Every game was either like a 5-point win or more, most 10. Like, NBA has not been entertaining lately. I don't know if that's just me, but it just hasn't been the same over this last year. What do you think, Nick?
Just in terms of the NBA not being entertaining, like it's the NBA in itself has just been a weird year, and I wrote down a bunch of reasons why, and as to why it's not being entertaining. There's like 10 teams that are tanking right now, to where it literally caused Adam Silver to come up with a tanking rule. because that's how obnoxious it's been. And so that makes the games unwatchable. Because like if I'm a Knicks fan and they're playing the Pacers,
Yeah,
who
what's the
who
point?
stink, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're not even trying.
There's
Like it's
5
not
teams
even
right
like,
now in
which,
the East that don't even have 30 wins.
right, they don't even 30 wins. Like that's like it's so bad.
There's
And to
3 that
me,
don't
it's like
even
I
have 20.
understand, and here's the thing, like I understand if you're not good and you want a high draft pick, I get it. But like it's also why the lottery exists, so that this doesn't happen. So the fact that we're coming up with tanking rules on top of the lottery is just is I'm gonna use a Stephen A. Smith's favorite word here. It's just blasphemous because it's true. Like I don't. That's the nuts thing to me. I actually don't even watch the NBA until we get to the playoffs because of this reason. And the playoffs are fun, and so I'll watch that. But it just doesn't become. In some ways, it's like glorified pickup at this point, especially with the bad teams. It's like, all right, whatever.
And what was it? Was that
I don't know.
Huff guy on the Pacers?
Jay Huff.
Yeah, but going at the
Jay Huff.
line, down 1 with a chance to win the game, misses 2 free throws at back rim. The first one's like, oh, maybe it's okay. And then he misses the second one at the same exact location.
Yeah, he did it intentionally, basically.
I was like, I'm just not enjoying watching the NBA. Like, they're not putting out good entertainment for their fans. I mean, it's tough. It's not Silver's fault, obviously, but it's just not entertaining. I don't know the last time I watched a full NBA game, because it's just like the teams that some of these teams are facing are just like, they're not trying. Like, why would I even want to watch a team that's not trying? And they're getting paid big bucks, so they don't care.
No, it's definitely abysmal for sure. One other thing I want to bring up about the NBA was I want to talk about the Clippers for a second
Mm-hmm.
because they start the season right. They have a scandal going on that still hasn't been resolved. Right? They start the season with an abysmal record. Trade James Harden. They waive Chris Paul in the middle of his farewell season, and they're not making a playoff push.
Yep. No, well, they're part of the playoffs now, guaranteed.
Right, they're now in the playoffs this season and today. Right, there's that. 1, 2. Bam Adebayo, 83-point game. How?
On a Tuesday night, out of all things, this is crazy.
Right, and it's the typical stereotype of a bum game on a Tuesday night. He scores 83. Like again, Celtics exceeding expectations. Tatum goes down with his Achilles. They're projected at 42 wins. They've exceeded 50. Man, it's been such a weird year. Like I don't like the direction the NBA is going.
Yeah, I don't either. I think college sports are really starting to take over because these guys are getting paid now like professional players, getting over 7 figures in NIL if they are a solid prospect or a solid recruit coming out of high school. So I don't know. I mean, NBA, like I could even just look at today's games, for example, like any games I specifically want to tune in. Yes, Rockets, Knicks, solid. And then Cavs, Lakers, also solid. And then who's going to want to watch Blazers, Clippers at 11 o'clock on NBC?
No.
I know I'm not. Like, I'm gonna tune in for the playoffs, certainly, because the West could be so good this year.
Right.
But again, in the East, it's so top heavy with I think just the top 3 teams. I really don't expect much out of the Cavs. But I think the Pistons, Celtics, and Knicks are the top 3 teams. And that makes me not even want to watch the opening rounds because I know those teams are going to cakewalk the bottom teams because the talent level just isn't there for the bottom teams. Like they're just, again, not, I mean, they're trying obviously, but I'd still like, when you look at the bottom teams, you got the Hawks, you got the 76ers, you got the Magic, got the Heat, got the Hornets. Like those are teams I do not want to watch. It's so weird. It could be.
Are you guys fans of the play-in?
I mean, it gives them more basketball, and they're also trying to make up the revenue that they missed because of COVID. But I don't mind it. Their games are solid, but for some reason, it's the same teams year after year. Like the Heat, I feel like every year the play-ins happen, they've been in the play-in.
Yeah, they made that.
The Bulls too. Like
they made that one run a couple of years ago from the play-in all the way to the finals, and then they get smoked in the finals against the Nuggets. So I mean, it's somewhat seeing like the story build up from a play-in team reaching to the finals. But it's like, if they get past the second round, they're going to lose guaranteed. They're not going to win. all. They're not going to win all. Like their chances are very, very slim.
I just hope the Celtics or Knicks make the finals, because I will tell you right now, any other team in the Eastern Conference, I will not care to watch. I will not care to watch the Detroit Pistons. I will not care to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Raptors, because those are just not fun
Yeah.
teams. They don't have the star power like the other teams, and it means so much more to Boston and the Knicks than it does any other team right now in the Eastern Conference. The West is, any team you face in the West is going to be a solid finals matchup. But then when you go to the East, it's those two teams, I think, that are the best teams. And I don't know. I mean, I still have to see the Pistons really perform in playoffs, because they haven't done that yet. But we got to hope Cade comes back healthy from that collapsed lung. I think he's at like maybe one more week, I would think.
Yeah.
But still, the Pistons are holding their own, so I got to give them props. Kept their own with the Thunder last night, but I also think, excuse me, speaking too fast a little bit there. I don't think that they are what they used to be last year, because they're getting the flaws. And you look at Jaylen Brown when they played the Thunder, he did the SGA foul bait against him, and you could just see him be like, "Oh my god, he did the same thing I did." But I don't know. It's again, the season's just been so weird and so underwhelming.
So, do you believe you have a chance against us in the playoffs based off what you saw last year? Especially because your philosophies hasn't changed since last year. Like you guys, I don't say 3-point chuck, but you guys shoot the majority of your shots from three. Even if you hit the threes, it'll be fantastic. But guys blow teams by 20 to 30 points sometimes. But if you guys don't hit your threes, you guys are in a slugfest, and you guys typically lose those games.
I'm interested to see how Vucevic does when he comes back.
Yeah,
because obviously we didn't have him last year. And then I wonder if he's going to start or come off the bench. I would think he would come off the bench. Cade will still get the start, but I would love to see him in a starting role. Roll out with Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Sam Hauser, and then Nikola Vucevic. Because Vucevic can be a really solid piece for us and another big man to help us spread the floor more. It just hopes that Tatum realizes that if the floor is spaced, he could drive into the paint. Rested yesterday because of the Achilles injury. So hopefully they're resting him up. Because I think right now, the Knicks Celtics could potentially jump each other. I think it's going to be tough. So I think the playoffs right now, at least on the top, is what's going to be Pistons, Celtics, Knicks, Cavs.
Yeah,
I don't know if you think of any other order,
Mm-mm.
but I think it's going to sit that top four. The bottom could change a little bit, but I think the top four are going to pretty much stick the same. So the Knicks would be facing the Sixers or whoever comes out of the play-in.
They'll play the Knicks. If they're the third seed, they play the 6th seed, which would be the Hawks right now, currently standing.
Oh, yes.
Or it could be the Raptors. The Cavs will face the 5 seed. Obviously, the Pistons will face the winner of the 7 and 8 game in the play-in, and then the 2 seed will face the winner of the number 7 seed, the loser of the 7-8 game, and then the winner of the 9-10 game. So
it's definitely
one
be
thing I want to
interesting.
say on this right before we get to, I know we got to get to the
Yeah, we gotta get to the
MLB,
MLB
and I'll say this really quick, is it's not the same Knicks team as it was last year with the new, obviously, Mike Brown leading the team. So you're in a very different style of play. The Knicks Celtics playoff series, which I'm hoping we get to,
That would be a lot of fun.
it's just going to be, it'll be so fast paced, up and down, up and down,
So
up and
toxic
down.
too.
And very toxic, but it fits the mold of the Northeast, which I think makes it that much, will make it that much more exciting. And I'm just hoping, like I said, and the Knicks if the Knicks can just make it, like the Knicks are, like if I'm comparing this to anything else, like the Knicks, if they just establish their presence inside, right?
All the and Cat last year did pretty decent in the playoffs, but
He did.
This year he's just a complete different player.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's just completely different. He's not aggressive enough. In certain games, like I've seen, like in the Thunder game, like a lot of times he had that Alex Caruso on him, and you pass it out. I'm like, you're 7 foot on a 6 foot guard, just post him up or shoot over him. Like you have the offensive game, but he doesn't have the mentality. It's frustrating to watch him because he's a very, very talented player, but defensively he has his woes. That's why we got Mitchell Robinson and Precious Achiuwa last year for defense. It's so frustrating because a lot of times in nights where I'm watching the Knicks, it's basically just not Mikal Bridges. He's too inconsistent. It's just Jalen Brunson, OG is the 1 and 2 scoring wise.
I don't think they could have OG being the number 2 scorer on a team. He's a solid defender and a solid player, but I can't see him being the number 2 option on a team with championship aspirations. It has to be Cat.
Yeah, and in that Thunder game too, Josh Hart shot like 5 threes, hit them. Like, I love Josh Hart, but he's not a 3-point shooter. He's not going to knock down 5 threes every single game when he does that. Well, we need some scoring from Cat, but he needs to be more consistent and more aggressive.
I think that's where we could rattle off of the NBA. I think with about 10 minutes left, we should try to get in as much as we can about MLB in the opening weekend. First one, Phillies have really, really been struggling to start the year. I don't know what they've been doing. It seems like
Yeah, they've been
very poor.
bad.
Very, very poor.
Trey Turner has been horrendous.
1
this
for 3 to
season.
start the year, having one of the worst offenses in the league, 14th in runs scored in the first 3 games. And to have your opening series be against the Rangers out of all teams, and you can't perform, you only win 1 game out of that series, and it's the pitching too. When you look at the series finale, allowing 8 runs, you're allowing 10 runs in game 2. It's just, I mean, again, it's so early. That's the tough thing about NBA. Or NBA. I'm still on the NBA. MLB. It's so difficult to judge in the first series, but if someone looks bad, someone looks bad. I think the Phillies don't look good. And talking about someone who has been bad, our captain, Aaron Judge, has been atrocious to start the year. And that brings the question as well about WBC hangover. A lot of these performers haven't been doing well that have played in the WBC, but I don't know. And I think it kind of got to Judge about all the talk of just being a playoff fraud and a regular season merchant. Because ever since that big at bats in the WBC, he's been struggling. I think he's definitely hearing the noise, and hopefully he responds well because we need him to do well. But for the Yankees, our pitching has been phenomenal. I can't say how proud I am of Matt Blake and the pitching staff. They're just doing phenomenal. And even yesterday, holding the Mariners to two runs and losing on a walk-off, it wasn't ideal, but
yeah,
their pitching has been phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Judge will come around. I mean, it was a hangover, maybe, but it's March 30th or 31st. So I don't need Judge to be good right now. Just I need him good in October and September. So
to be fair,
which
my bad, Nick. Continue.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like last year in the playoffs, like in the ALDS ball, even though we lost to Toronto, he played well in that series. He had like coming out game where he had that, what was it, a grand slam, if I'm not mistaken, or was it a 2-run homer?
For what?
In the
that
last
was a
year's
grand slam.
It was a grand slam, yeah. That was kind of his coming out party, even though we did lose that series. But like, yeah, just need Judge to show up in the playoffs. It's so early in the season. But there's a question I wanted to ask you guys. If obviously we're not, Phillies fans, but do you think they kind of hit their peak and they're kind of going to be down the regression in the next couple seasons?
100%. I think this is their last chance, at least in the NL. This is definitely their last chance with the Phillies.
What do you think about them, Nick?
They're definitely getting there for sure. It's hard to tell. Their pitching is still elite. Wheeler's elite. Nola's elite. Their bullpen's elite with Duran at the back end.
But the elite is Taijuan Walker got rocked yesterday. 7 runs, 6 of them earned against the Nationals. The Nationals out of all teams.
That's still good. But we've seen it with the Yankees. Like Yankees offense, like Judge has been struggling, and their pitching has kind of helped them out in some ways. Like
I never thought I would say that before. Our pitching actually
2 runs.
Well.
2 runs. Like the Yankees gave it 2 runs, and it was on a walk-off hit. So essentially 1 run through 8 1/3 innings. But with the Phillies, like I mean, I think now's definitely their time for sure. Because I just think they're not getting any younger, and you're gonna. I think if they don't make this, then it's gonna be a true what if.
Yeah,
it's also tough to kind of gauge because the Dodgers have taken over the MLB, haven't really gave them a shot.
True, like it's like the what if. Like you could go like, what if they made this signing? What if they did this differently? What if this? What if that? Like Harper, like Bryce Harper's been there. His tenure with the Phillies is as long as he's been with the Nationals. He has no championship just to go for it. So some way, does it hurt his legacy? Is it, do they, is it the team we forget about? So I don't know. I mean, I'd like them to be good, as crazy as that sounds. Just because I think like Phillies, Yankees, Red Sox, Dodgers, like those are the teams. Like if they're good, like it makes baseball that much more fun to watch. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm not. It's still way too early to tell. But I definitely think they're hitting their ceiling right now.
And a couple of teams and a player specifically who have been hot to start the year. Yankees obviously hot pitching wise. The Jays have also had a strong start pitching wise. 50 strikeouts in the first 3 games of the opening series, which was the most in MLB history. So Jays are kind of a little bit scary. And Mike Trout finally back. He looks like his prime self and winning that ABS challenge to then win 2 consecutive ABS challenges, which I believe it resulted in a hit. I forgot what hit it did, but him winning 2 back-to-back ABS challenges. Good to see him back finally. He said he was more healthy than ever, which I hope for because the league is obviously a lot better when Mike Trout's up in the top of the league. And then I also want to get your opinion shortly, guys. We got about like four minutes left. What do you guys think of the ABS system now? And
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's going to expose so many bad umps because you've seen the clip of the Reds game where it's clearly seemed that ump just wants to get him out the game. It was like a 1-3 count. It was a clear ball, challenge it ball again after that one, and he called a strike. Like it's good because it can expose a lot of bad umps that just want to throw away games and just get rid of it. It's like it's annoying. What do you think, Nick?
I like it. I do fear what it can become because, like, as of where it is right now, it's great.
Yeah.
But it's some. I also, as just someone who's a competitor, like I like the human error aspect of games because in some ways it kind of makes things a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun and dramatic as a fan. Like if at some point, or is this like, and maybe this is a question for you guys, like, is this the next step towards fully going to robotic umpires?
Nah,
Yes.
I don't think so. I think you got to have umpires because then again, you could have a umpire at first, but then how is it going to work on the corners?
Yeah.
Right? How is a robo ump going to watch there? Like, how are they going to call someone out versus someone safe? Maybe for a home plate umpire, I could see it, but again, that's also going to take away so many jobs.
Yeah.
There's so many umpires in the league and people who are
actually good at their job.
Yeah, and then aiming to be umpires as well. All those training camps and stuff like that for umpires, it's going to unfortunately lose a lot of jobs. So I don't think they would do that. And I think the umpire association would like that, the MLB one. Only time could tell, really. But this is a good first step. I really enjoy seeing the ABS system. The Yankees went ballistic yesterday on the ABS system. I think 5 for 5 immediately to start in their ABS. And then also they were chirping the umpires like, "Oh, you see, we're winning these ABSs. You got to figure it out," because he was not finding the zone yesterday. And then also one last thing, I think that was another talking point, at least in the New York metropolitan area, was Bo Bichette absolutely being atrocious to start the year on that big contract. You saw Frank the Tank obviously very visibly frustrated with Bo Bichette and the Mets so far this year. I mean, Bo Bichette's been struggling. I don't know how he was worth all that money.
Yeah, 19 at bats, only 2 hits. That's like
this is typical. Hey, this is not a surprise, and I don't have much to say on this. This is the I'm gonna call it. This is the Mets. This is what the Mets do. This is the Mets. This is what the Mets do. Like you forget. Juan Soto when he started last year was a disaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this guy. Just didn't make the playoffs, right?
Yep.
Mets are gonna do what the Mets do. Mets are gonna do what the Mets do. But I saw this graphic right when their opening day, their lineup was being announced when they're all running out, and going to the baseline or whatever. It showed a graphic of how much each guy's getting paid as they're running out. And I'm like, it's like Lindor, $32 million, Soto, $60 million, Bichette, 40. Who's after him? There's a Luis Robert who's getting paid.
Yep.
And I look at all this and I'm like, just to make the but hey, they get to go to Cancun before everyone else.
I think they'll find a way to still be behind the Phillies, though. The Phillies will, I think, rebound, I hope. And the Mets will either work their way into a wild card. They could win the AL East. Or AL East, NL East.
No, I don't think they have the pitching for it, especially with their offense being this poor to start of the season. Yeah, no. They have Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes, we got rid of Clay Holmes. He's a starting pitcher.
Right, they got Clay Holmes. They got Clay Holmes. They have Devin Williams.
Luke Weaver.
They're just taking the Yankees and Juan Soto. They're just taking the Yankees sloppy seconds. That's what they're doing.
All right. So as
Okay.
we wrap up, it's 10 o'clock and see the next show sitting outside the studio. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who tuned in to the weekend sports recap for this week's episode. We will be back, same place, same time. I believe will be the first show because of Easter break. So be sure to tune in 9 o'clock on Tuesday for the first show of WIR's weekly shows. And thank you, Nick, again for joining us. And it's a pleasure having you on, and thank you, Akeen, for again joining and being a wonderful co-host. And we'll see you guys all next week.
This is WIUR Radio.